What if I told you that to win big, the biggest brands on the planet have decided they need to get smaller? Yeah, it sounds crazy, right? But that's the surprising story we uncovered inside the 2025 annual reports from the household care industry. We're going to break down how the companies that literally shape your daily habits are completely tearing up their old playbooks. So let's just dive right into the big question, the one that seems to fly in the face of all business logic. Why on earth are these massive, world-famous brands deliberately shrinking? This is the central puzzle our 2025 analysis kept coming back to. And honestly, the answer is a real game changer. And the answer is a massive paradigm shift. You know, the old way of thinking, endless expansion, buying up everything in sight, that's being tossed right out the window. The new mantra, what we're seeing everywhere, is all about precise portfolio optimization. It's not about being bigger anymore, it's about being smarter. The rules have totally changed. Which brings us to the two words you're going to hear a lot about: concentrate and reshape. The old way of doing things is officially over. We're in a new era of strategic, almost surgical precision. All right, let's start with the heavyweights, the two titans of the industry, Procter & Gamble and Unilever. Now, these guys aren't just following the trend, they are leading the charge. But, and this is the interesting part, they're doing it in two completely different ways. So what we're looking at here are two totally different paths to the same goal. Over on one side, you have P&G, and they're basically building a fortress. Their strategy is all about irresistible superiority. They want to make their core products so good, so dominant, that you don't even think about choosing anything else. Then you have Unilever. They're reshaping their entire company by subtracting, selling off huge chunks of their business to go all in on a smaller set of power brands that really fit their sustainability mission. And this just shows you P&G's strategy in action. I mean, just look at the fabric care market. P&G controls more than 35% of it, globally. That's not just market leadership, folks. That's straight-up dominance. By concentrating all their firepower on making brands like Tide and Ariel unbeatable, they've built a fortress that is incredibly hard to even scratch. And on the flip side, here's what Unilever's big reshaping gamble looks like. After selling off all those other brands, a staggering 78% of their entire business now comes from just 30 core brands. Think about that. This is a masterclass in focus. They've basically decided who they want to be and are betting the entire company on the brands that fit that vision, especially the ones that younger, more eco-conscious consumers are drawn to. But hold on, this isn't just a story about the two giants at the top. The specialist players, think Henkel, Church & Dwight, and Colgate, they're using the exact same concentrate and reshape playbook, but they're using it to completely own their specific high-value niches. And what's so cool here is that there's no single right way to do this. You've got Henkel, who's making this huge pivot away from some retail brands to double down on high-margin industrial stuff like professional adhesives. Then there's Church & Dwight, who are concentrating on changing the actual physical form of the product. And finally, you have Colgate, who are expanding, but in a very focused way, into a super high-growth market right next door, pet nutrition. And if you want to understand just how serious these moves are, just look at Henkel. They sold off $1.13 billion worth of retail brands in North America alone. This isn't just a little spring cleaning. This is radical surgery on their portfolio, all designed to jack up profitability and focus their energy where they know they can win. And here is a perfect example of what Church & Dwight is doing. Their own reports say their growth is going to come from innovations like these detergent sheets. Now, this isn't just a new scent or something. They are changing the entire product format. It's lighter, it uses way less packaging, and it actually solves a problem for people. That is niche innovation at its absolute best. Now, this whole trend isn't just happening in the West. Oh no, the concentrate and reshape theme is going global. And the market in Asia is where the battle is getting really, really interesting, as you have these regional champions starting to take on the global titans. And as you can see, these regional giants are writing their own playbooks. You've got Japan's Kaio using what they call a global sharp-top strategy, which basically means they want to be the undisputed best in just a few high-tech areas. Earth Corp is going for this deep vertical control over specific product categories. And then there's Korea's Akyung, which is winning with an aesthetic premium, making beautiful design and a great user experience their key advantage. And this really highlights the crucial difference in their whole approach. While the Western giants were relying on price hikes to drive growth, their competitors in Asia took a totally different route. They reshaped the competition itself, offering better technology or a more premium design.
It just goes to show you don't have to be the most expensive to be considered the best. Okay, so we've looked at the titans, we've looked at the specialists, and we've looked at the regional challengers. So what does this all mean? What's the big takeaway from all this 2025 data? Let's boil it all down.
So here it is. This is the new playbook for how to win in household care. It is no longer about just being the biggest. Winning today is all about optimizing what you have, dominating a niche, and innovating the actual form of your product. It's about turning ESG from just another cost into a real competitive advantage. At the end of the day, the winners are going to be the companies that concentrate their strengths and reshape their portfolios with the most intelligence and, frankly, the most courage.
Which, of course, leaves us with a really fascinating question for next year. In this new era of strategic precision, is it going to be P&G's concentrated brute force power or Unilever's radical, focused reshaping that comes out on top? Well, the 2026 reports are certainly going to be interesting to read.
So that's the high-level breakdown. But if you really want to get into the weeds and see all the data for yourself, the full in-depth report that this whole explainer is based on is available from HDIN Research. The address is right there on your screen. Thanks for joining us.